Well, today, October 1st, has been circled on calendars across our great state of Idaho. The expected due date for a new water mitigation plan, a plan to make sure that senior surface water users are able to fill their first in time, first in right water priority. The plan also addresses groundwater users who, for the most part, are junior water rights holders. And if you need a refresher, you can watch our whole water rights special on ktvb.com or the 208 YouTube page called Liquid Assets. It's fantastic. But today we have new information on a plan moving forward. But is the deal finalized? I spoke to Lieutenant Governor Scott Bedke, who is leading the water negotiations, to find out. It's harvest season across Idaho. Farmers and agriculture operations seeing the fruits and veggies of their labor. It's a very busy time, and on top of all of this, they're also negotiating a major new water mitigation plan.
I'm happy to say we're finalizing the plans.
Idaho Lieutenant Governor Scott Bedke has been at the table facilitating a deal between surface and groundwater users. The state of Idaho follows the prior appropriation doctrine that is popular in the West. First in time, first in right, and that's for water rights. Senior priority water rights, who are often surface water users, they get their water fulfilled first. And then those junior, usually groundwater users, they get the rest. And if there's not enough water to go around to fill all the rights, those junior users could potentially be cut off. The problem, though, it derives in part from a decline in spring flows and water levels in the eastern Snake Plain aquifer, which has been dropping since the 1950s as groundwater pumping for irrigation increased and farming techniques across the board have changed in recent decades. A mitigation plan for all of this is needed to address water shortfalls in use. The goal was to have it all ironed out by October 1st.
Those of us that are in agriculture knew that October would be a tough, that all of September and October would be a tough month to get everybody to sit down and to go through it. So I don't know that anybody is surprised, but I'm happy to report that we do have the fundamentals of a deal.
The deal is close, and it's taken months of dedicated work from all parties.
There were issues. We had tough, candid, sometimes heated conversations, but everybody, I think, rose to the challenge, listened to their better angels, if you will, and they watched out for themselves, but they also watched out for their neighbors.
The framework is highly detailed and intricate to discuss, so yes, it is very difficult for us to break down for you, but Lieutenant Governor says that the ideas for a lasting plan are organic.
These are their ideas. These are not ideas that are coming and being forced upon them by the state. The state has a responsibility to manage the water and do it in a way that is responsible not only to this generation, but to the next generation. And so all of these components, all of these principles are in this agreement, and it's all but finalized now.
A key to the conversation is metering water use. Fingers have been pointed back and forth in terms of who measures and how. Lieutenant Governor Bedke says metering is mandatory, just to be clear, and there is movement with an eye for the future.
We're moving towards real-time data collection so that everyone knows, and that's one of the components of this agreement, is that there will be, the data will be available, at least at this juncture, at least every month. And that data will be made available to those that ask for it.
So what is the delay on the October 1st deadline? Well, it's a good reason that is understood across the board: due diligence.
And so that's what's taken a little bit more time, is to make sure that every eventuality is covered. A lot of if-then statements in this agreement, so that everyone knows and everyone's going forward with their eyes wide open, so that there are fewer surprises.
So when the deal is finalized, will it pass the test of time?
Can I tell you that when we have this conversation, Joe, 10 years from now, there won't be some problems? I can't say that, because my experience has taught me otherwise. But we are doing the best we can with the information that we have available now.
I also just want to add something that the Lieutenant Governor said to me that stuck out. The fact that there was a press release put out today from the Governor's office, Lieutenant Governor's office, leaders on both sides of the issue, it shows the indication that this is a close deal. They wouldn't be putting out press releases with everybody on the same one if there were still major disagreements. So what happens next? Well, the next step for the mitigation plan is the full review and approval by the groundwater district boards and the canal boards, as well as their membership. So that'll take time. The challenge now is to to communicate all of the intricacies to their members so they can have an educated vote.